Hello YouTube, Fuzzfinger here and welcome back to Final Fantasy XII, and in today's episode we're going to be traversing across a new area known as Tchita Uplands, or Tchita Uplands, or Tchita Uplands, something along those lines. But anyway, that's what we're doing today, so please do come and join me. If you enjoy watching, please don't forget to hit the like button and stay tuned as we get on with today's show. At the end of our last episode, we left off pretty much at this save crystal here, so we're going to continue on. We did explore the Fong Coast in its entirety, so please, if you've missed that, go ahead and check it out. I'll show you where all the treasures are located that you want to get, and then we can go ahead into the next area here. Right, so this is the Tchita Uplands, which is what I'm going to call it, unless I hear anybody say any differently. And as usual, there's going to be a few items we can nab while we're in this area. In particular, there's an Avenger and a Storm Spear, which we might want to pick up in this initial starting zone. So I'm going to show you where they're located. And there's going to be other chests as well, of course. So we'll speed things up. At the moment, I've got Van, Balthea and Fran because they're the lowest level party members in our party at this time. So we'll try and get them to even out with the others that are currently at level 36. And there's going to be some new enemy types. Well, you know, we've fought these kinds of enemies before, but not these specific ones. And they weren't in the Fong Coast, so just be prepared to be hit with status ailments, first of all, as you can see here, which is a bit annoying. So there can be a treasure chest up here. Don't think anything too exciting, but it doesn't look like it spawned on this occasion. And then if we kill this thing, there can be one of those items I mentioned spawning along here in this chest. So I'll see if it has done so. Nope. And I'll show you where the other treasure chests are before we go any further. And then you can grab them all you want. If you want. Maybe you don't, that's fine. But that's the joys of 4-speed, isn't it? Is that we don't have to spend an age showing these things. And more Marlborough enemies. So this is like status effect central, this zone, isn't it? And where are the treasures? There should be a couple around here. Well, there can be. One, in fact. Just in this crevice, but it doesn't look like it spawned unless I'm just missing it. Nope. Okay, well, at least you know where it could spawn, if it does spawn. So we'll continue on going down, levelling up, getting some nice experience, items, storm crystals, you name it, we'll get it. Well, actually, no, you could probably name a lot of things that we wouldn't get, but... And where's that other item I want to show you that does contain, or can contain, a nice item? 27 gil, it's not that. I believe it's actually around here. Close to that one we just looted, but it hasn't spawned, so I'll have to come back for it in a moment. But there's two more items I want to show you, and then I'm going to farm those. So two more treasure chests I want to show you, and then I'm going to farm for those two items that I mentioned at the start. So some of these guys are flying, so you want to be getting your ranged casters out. In that case, Bash is going to blitz these for us, as you can see. And then these two treasures are located just at the southern tip here. One around here. I'm not having much luck actually with getting them to spawn, am I? Get the traps, of course. Need to get some lever going on. And just around this corner we can also get another. But going to farm those two items and I'll be right back. Okay, so there's the first item, the Storm Spear, from a chest that has a 35% chance to actually show up in the first place, which is probably why we didn't have a whole lot of luck with it. But now I'm going to get the other item as well. And at last I've managed to get the Avenger, which did take a fair bit of time, I'm going to be honest with you, because this chest can actually spawn the Emperor Rod as well, which of course is, you know, it's a decent rod, but it was the Avenger that we was after. We've already got the Emperor Rod. So let's see about moving on to the next area now. And the next area that we're going to be heading to is just to the east. There's 2 exits. We're going to head down to the area below, to the south, a little bit later on. I'm just going to see if that other chest has dropped anything else again, though, because we got the storm thingy from it, didn't we? But it can also... No, it hasn't spawned. It can also drop an adamant hat as well. So it's a one-handed dagger. So, you know, it might be good for your dagger users. I'm going to keep using Balthea's Kagenui for now, though. And the good thing about the Avenger is it does have a chance of casting Berserk on enemies. And so with encounters that are susceptible to Berserk, where that is needed, the Avenger is, you know, a good weapon of choice. Right then, so as usual, there's going to be a few treasures we can collect, and I'm going to show you the good ones. But first of all, I'm just going to show you all of the locations. And those negative status effects are still coming in thick and fast. And here's the first treasure, which I do want to pick up. 27 gil. Let's bring Bash into the fray. Or not, because everyone's targeted. Goodbye, Belth. Hello, Bash. Everyone's 36 now, the hype. Bash is owning so much, I thought I might have given him Sight and Grat by accident, but I haven't. Yes, I did do that on one of the previous videos by mistake. It was one of the Espers that I collected. The one out of the Barheim passage. I'd already made my way through the Barheim passage on video to do the hunt, the episode before. And so I had to go through again. I just put the Sight and Grat on because it is a bit of a pain to get through. Just to get to the Esper, and yeah, I did kind of forget to take it off after I saved my game, had a rest, came back to the game, and then did the Esper with that weapon equipped. So it kind of looked like I cheesed it, but it was the only time I've done that, and it was a mistake. Oh, so where's all our lovely treasures? Because they don't seem to be spawning. There could be one around here, but there isn't. Remember, treasures don't have 100% chance to spawn. In fact, many of them don't even have a 50% chance to spawn. The ones with the weapons in, for example, we've just been looting in the last area, only have a 30% chance to spawn. So you might be entering and exiting, rezoning multiple times in order to get the ones that you want. Just bear that in mind. Occasionally you'll be lucky, get them first go. Or we've got sap here, so we need to just bring Ash in to cure Fran up a bit. Potion out of there. There's not a whole lot of treasures in this one. Saying that, I think there might be about 10. There it is. Just kill this thing first. Turn off the high speed, because you can't always target things as easily. When you do have it running, of course. And we'll just look in the northern section now. Petrify, my favourite. Let's just get rid of that. Hey, where's all my Petrify stuff gone? Ah. Got 3 left, need to stock up on some items, I think, don't we? So, chest around here. A giant stone bow, there's one of the items, look. And then there can be a couple more spawns just in this top section here that I'll go and show you. 63 gil here. And then finally, right at the top, and get one more treasure spawn. It doesn't look like it has spawned for us, but it would spawn around here if it did. Okay? Okay guys, I'm just going to show you where you can get the chests for the 2 nice items, or the 2 nice spawns that appear in this zone, although I've come in and out of this exit here many times and haven't got them to spawn the nice items that I want, so I'm going to give up at this point, but I do want to show you in case you want to get them. So from this exit, the chest here has a chance of spawning a Chaos Mate or an Astrakhan hat. What a surprise, I get Gil, which is pretty much all I've been getting. And then down here, this chest here by the bank. Oh, you did actually spawn the Agate ring, which is nice. But you can also spawn a Goku pole as well. So there you have it. But anyway, folks, I'm going to move on to the next area now. And we'll go ahead and save. Once you're saved up, you're going to want to speak to this little boy here, the Arcadian Wayfarer. And interestingly, he's actually going to give us a hunt. But it's not like a normal hunt that appears in your clan primer. Because this isn't from a board, it kind of works a little bit differently. So as long as you've spoken to the Arcadian Wayfarer and have agreed to take on his mark, then you have picked up this particular hunt. And we get the Soul Ward key as well. So the dungeon that this takes place in is just to the north of our current area, or our current location. So we need to be making our way east first of all into the next area, and then north a couple of areas to reach the Soken Cave Palace. But we're going to take the long way round, which means we're going to head back to the first area and go south, because there's more treasures for us to collect. Right, so we're going in from this direction here, and just... didn't mean to run into that. That's the problem with the high speed, isn't it? So just to the north, there's a chest that can spawn, I believe it's a platinum shield. Yes, it is. It's a platinum shield. No, don't go in the trap. And just grab this one first, since it's there. 51 gil. And the northern chest, that doesn't seem to have spawned on this occasion. But I'm not going to bother farming for that, because I've already got that shield, so I don't need it. But it is a nice one. I do recommend it if you don't have it. It can also spawn an Argyle armlet as well. So just bear in mind that it does only have a 30% chance to actually appear, so you might have to be resetting the area a few times to get it to show. And obviously on our occasion it hasn't done so. So, and there's one chest around here as well that's a one-time spawn, which I recommend collecting. It contains float. So I would like to get that for sure. And we need to head around here to the east in order to do so. There's also another save point, interestingly enough. So if you need to heal up for whatever reason. That flashing exclamation point on the map near the orange teleport stone is basically just the quest giver that we spoke to a moment ago. Just so we remember where he is. So around here there can be 4 treasure chests. Around that kind of central section there. See if there's any more that have spawned for us. Doesn't seem to be the case, does it? Okay, so this one-time spawn chest basically occurs up here. There it is. And there's float. So don't miss out on that one. Everything else, obviously, here is optional. Well, I mean, that's optional as well, technically. And there's actually just a few more chests in this area that I did forget about. Nothing too exciting, mind, but I'll show you their locations anyway. That's just over here to the west. Lots of quills, isn't there, interfering. And yeah, you can already see those chests, at least one of them. I believe there's 3 that can spawn around here. But on this occasion, just the 2. I was going to say 1, didn't see that. Steel Gorget, nice. And then we're going to head into the area just to the south. I mean to the east even. And that will take us to another save point, so you can heal up if you're having to be farming for whatever reason. I'm not going to save though, just a nice heal will do for us. And then we're going to head into the next area. And there are actually another couple of treasures that we might want to grab around here. But again, nothing totally really that exciting. You've got your diamond sword, your Kiku, Ichimonja, your judicious staff, the burning bow. All of that can spawn in the treasures around here, but it is stuff that I've already collected from previous areas. so you know I'm not going to concern myself too much with it. Anyway, the central area around these traps is where you're going to be getting the bunch of that stuff spawning. There's our first chest. So again, I'll just show you the locations of these chests. But I'm not actually myself going to be farming for them. Around here. 88 gil. Isn't that lovely? Oh, we're starting to chain by the looks of things. Chain of 9. We're getting some good experience in this place as well, aren't we? As we're making our way around here, farming these chests and items and what have you. And don't worry guys, there's going to be one more area I want us to look at before we actually take a break today. So, if you go up this northern... Careful. If you go up this northern exit here, this will take you back to the area just before the save point. It's quite a large open area, which we'll be exploring in a little while. But for now, we're going to head over to the right-hand side here. If we can. Be careful of the trap there. Oh, that's pretty mean. Right, so in this area there's also another one-time spawn chest which contains the Regen Magic. So if you don't have that, then it's probably going to be worth nabbing while you're here. Remember, one-time spawn chests don't have to actually spawn, interestingly. They just mean that the fact they're one-time spawn just means that once you have looted them, they won't spawn again. But if you don't loot them, they will still keep spawning until you do. So don't be too afraid of that terminology that gets bandied about there. And if it is going to appear, it's going to appear around about here. And it hasn't, I don't think. So we'll have to come back for that. In fact, quite a few treasures haven't spawned. Some of them are low chance in this particular area, I will warn you. There's a Yakko or Yaki weapon, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, which can spawn in the chest. In that little crevice down there, in that corner section. So maybe we'll be lucky, but it's only got a 20% chance of actually spawning as a chest itself. Have to bring bashing basically to obliterate these flying foes. Well, he does so. Oh boy, does he do so. Yet the 20% spawn has not been in our favour. So you can just nip across to the right. And then pop back to reset. There's that Yake. So out of that chest there. One little tip if you're farming for that item you can do. Watch out for the traps, by the way. Is use this exit here to reset the zone. And then watch out for this initial trap. Stay to the left of it. Just head over to the cliff here and look down, because that's where the chest spawns when it spawns. That way I'm going to run all the way around in order to check each time. So just a little bit of a, you know, a useful bit of information, I guess, isn't it? Right then, so we're going to head back now up north here. So there is going to be one more area that we need to do. But it is important. So actually we need to head to the west in order to get north from this particular zone. Try not to do the traps, but it's sometimes impossible to avoid when you're going at high speed. So I've explored this area already. Varn's a proper paladin. He's got some awesome physical damage. He's great at tanking with his sword and board, but then his healing spells come in particularly useful. So once again, there's a number of chests we can find in this particular area. But is there anything exciting? The answer to that question is, well, it depends what you consider to be exciting. There's a black garb, a steel mask, diamond armour, a Francisco as well. So I'll show you where the treasures are and then which ones you might want to pay particular attention to. There can be a treasure spawn here, which spawns a potion or a float mode. So, okay, perhaps that one isn't as exciting as I was making out then. Treasure here. Again, just a potion, but this time a bio mode can spawn. Or of course you get gil, which is what you're often going to get in these treasures. If you don't get gil, you do get a 50-50 chance of the item that's going to spawn in that chest. If you're not using the diamond armlet, that is. Don't use the diamond armlet if you're farming for specific gear, because that gives you different stuff. Okay, there's the suit of diamond armour for you. Nice easy one for once. If you have a diamond armlet equipped, you're probably just going to be getting knots of rust, since they basically have a 90% chance of spawning with the diamond armour equipped in any treasure chest. Apart from the really unique treasure chests that were made for the diamond armlet, but I'll always mention those before we come to them. I'll just check up north here. And most of this place is going to be explored once we've done this area. Not all of it, still a few areas left to do, but more level hype, yay. But most of it will be. Right, so the northern exit here is the area we're going to go to when we're heading to the dungeon for that quest we've just picked up. So that's going to be up this northern exit here. And then the eastern exit there will take us further into this particular area, to Tchita Uplands, or however it is you pronounce it. But this seems like a good place to take a break, so I'm going to have a rest here, guys, and finish off the episode. So come back next time, we're going to head into the Sochant Cave Palace and see what this mark's about. So please do join me for that. I'll look forward to it. Until then, take care. Goodbye.